Liebe Grüße aus Hamburg. Greetings from Hamburg. So I'm here to attend the Reeperbahn Conference and Festival, which is one of Europe's largest music conferences and Germany's largest for sure. And it's fun because a lot of artists are going to come together along with industry pros, managers, bookers, professionals, and it's my first time and you never know who you end up meeting, so it's really exciting. I'm looking forward to just hanging out and, you know, seeing who's here, exploring the different parts of this wonderful city of Hamburg, and I think we're going to have a good time. So I'll show you around a little bit and I hope you enjoy this little vlogging journey of, this massive conference. Can also be a bit nerve-wracking because you don't really know what's going to happen or if you're going to speak to the people you want to talk to. So let's just see. Okay, here we go. This is Reeperbahn Festival and Conference from the perspective of Josh Island in 2021.
Smiled your biggest smile by the tin shade on your head. Looked out over the sea. I held you in my arms.
So walking down the St. Pauli area here. Hope you can see some of the sun. I don't know if you know the story, but the legendary Beatles came here in the 60s and played over 150, if not more, shows in Hamburg, trying to make it, coming down from Liverpool for the first time. And this is the area where they played all those clubs. So I thought maybe it would be cool if we can go to the Kaiser Keller, which is one of the famous clubs. They played 92 shows there. Before George Harrison was kicked out because he was 17 years old and not legally allowed to work / play music in the club. So funny stories, and let's see if we find something that... I know there is a Beatles square here in Hamburg, but let's find some history. Absolutely crazy. Playing 92 shows in the same club, it's almost unimaginable. Like, no one would do that anymore these days. A sacrifice that is required.
Of what YouTube was and what it can be. And so what it can be is we have everybody has a record store in their pocket, but we could help with storytelling. We could help with the creative process and artists using the opportunity to engage with fans that have no borders.
I just came out of a really interesting talk with Lenore Cohen. He is the head of music at YouTube and Google. It was a very short conference, it was 30 minutes, so there was not much time for questions or, even to go into a lot of detail. So I would have loved to talk to him after. He said a couple of things which I wanted to share with you, I thought were really interesting. And if you are a musician watching, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Basically, the question arose whether musicians these days are having a more difficult time to make it in the music business. And he said no. And I agree. Here are my thoughts on this. I think that the market these days is very saturated. There are a lot of musicians making great music, and anyone really can record anything and put it on the internet and practically share it with, in theory, a global audience of several billion people. Platforms such as YouTube and Google and Instagram, social media and streaming, they allow musicians to get better at the craft of storytelling. And I love this idea of storytelling because I think storytelling is something that we musicians, that's what we live for, that's what we do. It's our raison d'être, it's a French term, fancy French term for saying our reason to be, for what we love to do and what our purpose is really. It's our purpose. That's the key word. It's our purpose as artists, as creative minds. So it's a really interesting topic, and it's often being debated by a lot of people, a lot of musicians, a lot of industry professionals saying, you know, what if we had been born 40, 50 years ago? Would it have been easier for us to make it in the business? The question is, I don't really know, but we have tools at our disposal right now, such as YouTube, where musicians like me, independent, small, upcoming artists, can make a vlog about the things that we do, the things that we learn, the things that we think about, and share it with the world. And through that I may meet people who end up listening to my music. And something like that was unthinkable 30, 40 years ago. And another really cool thing that I'm loving here at Reeperbahn is the fact that in the evenings, once you start discovering artists, you meet them in the craziest locations. Beautiful. Or something like seeing Etna with the NDR big band at the Elbphilharmonie, which is tonight. I am really excited. A big disadvantage though of this year's edition is the capacity because of Corona. All the clubs are to 40%, which makes it very difficult to get a seat, and the queues have been endless this year. Going around the block, 200, 300 people trying to get into a place of maybe 50 or 60. So it's been a bit of a struggle for the music fans this weekend, that's for sure. So guys, this is Ina Neumeier.
Hi.
She is an amazing PR specialist. Did an amazing radio campaign for my last EP. So Ina, you're hosting a Korean showcase here today.
Yes.
Maybe first of all, what do you like about Reeperbahn Festival? And what do you like about what you're hosting today?
Reeperbahn Festival is all about connecting with people and getting to know music from other parts of the world. And that's what the Korea Showcase is all about. They're the focus country of this year's Reeperbahn Festival, and unfortunately they can't be here. So we are having this showcase for them and invited people to come over and watch their music.
It's Saturday night, the last evening of Reeperbahn, and looking forward to a couple more concerts. I took the metro to a park out here, and I'm gonna see Black Sea Dao, I think. Black Sea Dao, if I say the name correctly. And really looking forward. It's like folky singer-songwriter. You really get to see Hamburg with these types of conferences because a lot of the stages are spread out across the city. So you end up traveling a lot with the metro or just walking and, you know, seeing what you come across. Well, I have absolutely no idea where I am, but there's a fence and there's a park. So it probably, as long as it's green, it's somewhere in the park. I think we're headed in the right direction. I can really recommend everyone to attend Reeperbahn Festival. Even if you're not a musician, actually especially if you're not a musician, it's a fantastic weekend to spend in Hamburg. You get to really see the city. And in the evenings there is a huge program of music to discover. And the idea really is that you go to acts that you've never heard of before. You don't know what to expect. You may listen to them in advance, do some of your research, plan your days, because it's important you know what you're going to see. Sometimes go spontaneous, other times plan your evenings. It's a fantastic way to discover Hamburg, fantastic way to discover the music of tomorrow. I hear music. Let's investigate. Yeah. Reeperbahn 2022, 2023, whenever you're going to see this, definitely go for it. And maybe I'll see you there.